Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're car shopping right now, you've probably noticed that the electric vehicle landscape has completely shifted. Honestly, it's gotten downright confusing with so many brand new options rolling onto the lot. So today, we're going to decode the 2026 North American EV Buyer's Guide, serving up your absolute ultimate cheat sheet to cut through all that noise and match you with your perfect electric ride.
Because here's the thing, there's literally no one-size-fits-all answer anymore. The 2026 data shows us that your perfect match really comes down to three deeply personal things. We're talking about your daily commute, your wallet, and your weekends.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by checking out the 2026 EV landscape, then dive into the best all-around options, explore some sporty and budget picks, take a look at luxury and off-road power, and finally, give you the final verdict.
All right, Section 1, the 2026 EV landscape.
Okay, so you really have to forget about just looking at the sticker price. The whole conversation has evolved, and today's market is completely ruled by what we call the big three: charging infrastructure, overall range, and reliable software. I mean, you can have the absolute most beautiful car in your neighborhood, but if you can't charge it easily on a road trip, or if the software glitches while you're driving, it's basically just a giant paperweight. Now, Tesla absolutely still holds a distinct edge with its charging network, but other brands are aggressively closing that gap.
And you can officially wave goodbye to range anxiety. 300 miles, that is no longer a luxury. It's the absolute baseline to even compete in 2026. If a vehicle can't comfortably cross that 300-mile threshold, it simply isn't going to survive in the North American market, where long-distance travel and wide-open spaces are literally built into our culture.
Moving right along to Section 2, Best All-Around Options.
For a huge chunk of buyers, the EV journey starts right here with the ultimate dilemma. Do you go with the incredibly spacious Model Y SUV or the hyper-efficient Model 3's sedan? Let's weigh these two heavyweights.
So, the Model Y. It's basically the quintessential family hauler that can miraculously still beat a sports car off the line. It's got massive cargo space, 76 cubic feet to be exact, and you get the undeniable, stress-relieving perk of the supercharger network. But, be prepared to compromise a bit. You're going to have to live without Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you'll need to adapt to a very stark, minimalist interior, and you might want to keep an eye out for occasional build-quality quirks.
Now, if you don't actually need all that SUV space, the Model 3 is an absolute efficiency monster. It charges incredibly fast at 250 kilowatts and really goes the distance, all for a highly competitive entry price starting around $36,000. Just keep in mind that the ride quality can be a bit firm on bumpy roads, and that ultra-modern, tech-heavy feel, well, it just isn't for everyone.
Next up, Section 3, Sporty and Budget Picks.
Not a Tesla fan? Honestly, no problem at all. You've got two highly distinct paths here. You can either chase that iconic American muscle vibe with the Ford Mustang Mach-E, or you can opt for aggressive budget savings with the Chevy Equinox EV. The Mach-E really gives you that classic sporty driving feel with a much more traditional interior that wraps around you. It's genuinely a fun time behind the wheel. But here's the catch. You will absolutely be waiting a bit longer at the charging station compared to its rivals, since it tops out at 150 kilowatts, and some drivers have reported a few software gremlins along the way. Plus, it's just a bit less efficient than a Tesla. On the flip side, the Equinox EV is your ultimate sensible choice. It's super comfortable, it easily hits that 300 to 406-mile range, and at 35 to 45 grand, it really protects your wallet. Now, no, it's not going to win any drag races, and the interior isn't going to blow your mind, but it is an absolute champion for the practical commuter who just wants reliable range without spending a fortune.
Shifting gears now to Section 4, Luxury and Off-Road Power. Just take a second and look at the sheer gap in what EV tech is capable of today.
The Lucid Air's 516-mile range completely and utterly dwarfs the competition. It makes the otherwise excellent 400-ish miles of the Equinox look almost modest in comparison.
I mean, the Lucid Air is an absolute engineering marvel. Over 500 miles of range means unparalleled road trip freedom in this ultra-quiet, luxurious cabin that, by the way, still rockets from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds flat. But, as you'd guess, perfection has a steep price, starting north of 90 grand, and you will be navigating a significantly smaller charging network while the brand is still growing its footprint.
Now, for the trail seekers out there, the Rivian R1T is just a beast. It tows a massive 11,000 pounds and has these incredibly clever features, like a gear tunnel built directly into the chassis for all your adventure gear. But again, you're paying a premium, starting over $70,000. The tech definitely has a learning curve, and yep, once again, you'll have to leave your Apple CarPlay at home.
And finally, Section 5, the final verdict.
So here is your 2026 cheat sheet. When you line them all up side by side like this, the narratives become crystal clear. Tesla pretty much owns the practical, all-around, and value spots. Ford and Rivian, they're delivering that visceral driving experience and raw off-road power. And then you have Lucid and Chevy sitting at the extreme opposite ends of range and budget. It really all comes down to what you prioritize for your day-to-day life.
The 300-mile benchmark is officially here. The charging infrastructure is growing by the day. And honestly, the excuses for avoiding electric are running out. We're really no longer asking if you should buy an EV, but rather which one perfectly aligns with your life. So take a look at your driveway. Is it time for sensible efficiency, off-road dominance, or world-class luxury? Thanks for joining this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll catch you on the next one.